Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome to another freaking video in high altitude investing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I think Ripple could be seeing a reversal pattern soon. Now, there's a few reasons that I'm going to go over in today's video why I think that we will see this pattern. Some of it's Elliott waves, some of it's pattern perspective, some of it's support and resistance. But I'll go over all of those things. And by the way, if you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button for me if you enjoyed the little Beatles intro. And I will really enjoy it if you guys comment where you are from in the world in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Alright, so I'm on tradingview.com and I'm looking at the Ripple XRP. Is actually the token's name. Ripple is like the entire infrastructure. XRP, the token, versus the US dollar on the Poloniex exchange. And I first would like to point out the pattern perspective. So before I get into the Elliott wave perspective and before I get into the support and resistance, I wanted to point out patterns. So as you guys can tell, Ripple is a coin that actually loves symmetrical triangles. It consolidated in a symmetrical triangle for multiple years in the past before it rallied all the way up to the prices that we see at the top of the market, and what really made me a lot of money off the Ripple or the XRP movement. This was a very profitable time for me. I remember actually telling people to buy Ripple on my YouTube channel in this area right here, way back in the day. And this was just a very beautiful move on the upside that occurred out of this triangle consolidation pattern. Now, what we saw after that is we saw the first impulse, and then we saw another triangle consolidation pattern before it finished the next impulse. Now, what we're actually seeing currently is more patterns playing out in the market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you these patterns. We actually have another triangle consolidation pattern that was formed. Now, this one actually broke bearish rather than breaking bullish. So as you guys can see, we've already started to head towards the target of this pattern. You can just kind of measure how long the pattern is, and you can see that it's going to move about the same size as that pattern on the downside. So I don't think that we're quite done selling off. We might be. I mean, it could just flip over right now. It does have very similar market structure as what happened right here. But I really think that it's more likely we dip just a little bit lower here in the Ripple market. And there's this huge major support level right here that I'm really looking at closely. That major support level is actually at 12 cents. So we have that pattern kind of perspective here. And what I'm actually watching for is another pattern playing out here, and that is downward pointing support. We have downward pointing support and we have downward pointing resistance. So you guys, what does this pattern usually mean when we have downward resistance and downward potential support? Well, it's more of a wedge pattern. So we're creating kind of this falling wedge structure in here, and whenever it finds that major support level inside of that wedge and confirms a move by breaking out of the resistance, that's going to be the main pattern that I'm watching on Ripple in the bigger time frames. It's actually doing another wedge because it did a wedge back here already before it did the little rally that we saw up to about 78 cents when it moved up to 78 cents towards the end of last year. So from a pattern perspective, we are forming a potential falling wedge in the longer term. From a support and resistance perspective, we have a very large area of support, again right here at around 12 cents. Now there is another area of support that I'm watching, and this would be at around 6 cents. This would be kind of like all hell breaks loose, more of like the doom and gloom scenario. But, you know, as a trader, you got to watch these levels and see what is up and what's going to happen. So that is the doom and gloom level, is around 6 cents per ripple. Now, the Elliott wave perspective, this is actually something that I'm watching very closely here. In Elliott wave theory, it's common that after the correction starts, it retraces in between the 3 and the 4 wave. So what we can actually see here, you guys, with Ripple is that we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. And what is the market doing? Well, it's retracing into that 3 and that 4. So this whole leg down that we've seen since the correction started is just really moving into the 3 and the 4 wave in the Elliott wave structure. Now that's really important to note because this is a huge area of support in the market. That 3 and that 4 wave is oftentimes where you see the correction create a reversal. Now from the Elliott wave kind of bigger picture count here, from the bigger picture count, this would actually be a mini little 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. And for me, this is all the 3 wave. And then this right here is all going to be the 1 wave right here. So we can just take our text and type in 1. So this is the big picture count of what's actually happening. And this is going to be the 2 wave. And this up here will be your 3, your Elliott wave 3 wave. And then you have your 4 wave landing onto, again, the support between the 3 and the 4. It's funny, the big picture 3 and the 4 is landing into support between the little picture 3 and the 4 between the 2 and the 3 wave. So if you're a beginner, you're like, whoa, what did he just say? Well, the 2 wave is when a new Elliott wave starts. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Part of Elliott wave theory is that there's waves inside of waves. So inside of the 3 and the 4 wave, there's Elliott waves down. From the 2 to the 3 wave, there's Elliott waves up. From the 1 to the 2 wave, there's Elliott waves down. So you can count the waves inside of the wave. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying the big picture Elliott wave count, is we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure. And that is associated with when the 2 wave starts and when the 3 wave starts, or when the 2 wave ends and when the 3 wave ends as well. So that's really what I'm mapping out here, is the Elliott waves inside of that. Now what we actually see over here is a WXYX correction, YXZ correction. And the reason I know this is because it's all ABCs. So we have an ABC wave down, an ABC wave down, and that makes our W wave. Then we have an ABC wave up, that makes our X wave. Then we have an ABC wave down, that makes our Y wave. We have an ABC wave up, that makes our X wave. And then we have an ABC wave down, and that's making our Z wave. So this is all mapping out with Elliott wave theory. It's actually a completely legitimate legal Elliott wave count to go ahead. It's following every single rule to count this as an a WXYXZ correction. Some people, if you're more of a beginner to Elliott waves and you don't understand WXY corrections or WXYXZ corrections, it doesn't hurt to understand that if you just label this as a big ABC, because you still understand that this is a 3 and a 4 wave and it's a correction. So for me, I like to know what type of correction it is, because Elliott wave theory is one of the bigger things that I use in my trading. But I also, if you're a beginner and you've just put this as an A and a B and a C wave, it's not like that big of a deal because it's both headed to the same spot. You're both headed in between the 3 and the 4 wave of this major support level that we see around 12 cents. So it really doesn't matter if you label this as a big WXYXZ correction or you're labeling this as an ABC wave. I just like to be as technically correct as possible and as specific as possible, especially since I'm a educator in this and I teach people how to do this. So I want to make sure that as many people as possible are learning some of the more advanced Elliott wave counts. But if you're a beginner and you're drawing this as a big ABC, it doesn't hurt. You're still just learning to count your waves. That's okay. So this right here is where you see the 5 wave coming. And this is where I've talked about in the past where Ripple could easily, Ripple could easily go up into the $13 levels. You've got $23 level. You've got, I believe, the Fibonacci extension. And it might be a little bit different on here because I was doing the Fib extension on CoinMarketCap previously, where now I'm doing it on TradingView. Yeah, the 6618 is $22. The minimum target is the 1618, which I believe will exceed quite significantly. That's around $5. The 4618 is around $15. You've got a lot of different areas to be taking profits, but the real thing to be doing is just understand that once we start to create some type of higher high and higher low pattern, so once this lower, see, this is all making lower highs and lower lows. So this is all downtrending ever since 2018. We've been in a downtrend with Ripple. Once we actually start to make a bottom pattern, we either round out, make a higher high and a higher low pattern, and start to reverse. Then you can start taking more confidently taking positions. You could be accumulating it right now, no problem. But you could take some more confident positions upon a trend reversal, and that's going to give you, the ability to establish that uptrend back up into these higher levels and create that final 5th wave in the market where we finish this bigger picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. So, and of course there's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 5th wave as well. I just quickly drew up these pink lines for you guys. It's actually going to look something more like this, where it rallies up, has a correction, sees a 3rd wave, 4th wave, and a 5th wave. So, Ripple, for me, has a bright future. I think it could easily reverse. It's still technically in a downtrend. We just need to see it start to make higher highs and higher lows. We're landing towards major support. If you're a long-term holder and investor, this is a great spot to be accumulating. If you're a trader, maybe wait for that reversal pattern, that higher high, higher low pattern to start taking positions and, set your stop loss and set your targets. Either way, Ripple is definitely on my watch list, you guys, and I hope that you learned something and enjoyed something in this video. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, the little notification bell so you can stay updated. I am dedicated to making 5 cryptocurrency videos a week, so watch out for those, and use the comment section down below to let me know where you are in this beautiful freaking world. Anyways, I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I will see you in the next videos. As always, stay profitable out there.